So here's our console class. Currently, we have a single method here. That is our read number method with these three parameters. Prompt, which is the question that we display, as well as min and max. Now, what if you want to ask a question, but we don't want to enforce a valid range of values? All we want is a number. This is an opportunity for overloading this method. Now, this is not part of the requirements. We don't currently need it in this application. So technically, we shouldn't implement this method unless we need it. But I thought to include it in this lecture to review the materials you learned in the last section. So let's overload this method. On the top, we're going to create another public static method. And by the way, both these methods are static because we only have a single console to work with. In console applications, we don't have multiple consoles. So it makes sense to use static here. Now here we're going to return a double. We call it read number. We add this prompt, but we're not going to add the other two parameters. So like this. Now here, once again, we can use a scanner object, but we're not going to have this infinite loop as well as this data validation logic. Our implementation is much simpler. So we simply return scanner.next double. And by the way, here we have a problem from the first part of the course. Here we should call next double because this method returns a double. Now here we have an issue. Every time we call the read number, this class creates a new instance of the scanner object. So this is an opportunity for us to declare this object as a static field. So over here, we're going to declare this as a private field because it's implementation detail. We don't want other classes to use this field. It's only used internally inside this console class. So private static scanner, and we can initialize it right here. New scanner with system.in. And with this, we can remove this line of code as well as this line over here. Now back to our main class. When we call console.readNumber, you can see this method is overloaded twice. The first implementation forces the user to enter a value within this range, whereas the second implementation doesn't care. It simply reads a number and returns it. So this console class is very handy. Whenever we want to read a value from the console, we can simply use this class. We don't have to create a new instance of the scanner object. Okay? Next, we're going to work on the print mortgage method.